Yes, I am applauding myself for going live. My name is Venus Jones. Welcome. I'm coming to you live and direct from Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is probably going to be my new home. I am exploring the world right now and feeling pretty wise, feeling like I'm coming to you from the future as I talk to many of my friends in the States. I am saying hello. I am saying good morning. It is 7 a.m. here. So, yes, it is actually Saturday. But for all of my supporters, I have pledged to be more social at least once a month here on the first Fridays with DM. This is something new I'm trying. DM, because everybody wants to slip in your DMs. So I'm saying you have permission to slip into my DMs on every first Friday. And for me, DM means dialogue. Dialogue matters. So I am striving to share more of what I know and to be of greater service. So this is one of those Q&A segments that I offer for those of you who have been following me for a very long time and uh, you wish I was speaking out more. And to tell you the truth, like the trending song, I have anxiety, so I live with anxiety. So this is really Dialogue Matters is also for people who are neurodivergent and who live with challenges. Um, and even though we may look like we got it together on the outside, it's a struggle on the inside sometimes. Holla if you hear me. Uh, and we want our voices to be heard. We want our voices to be valued because we know how important it is to 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 speak, but also to be a representation. So I want to say hello to everyone who is watching. We are going live here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube currently. And shout out to all of those of you who are watching this later as well. Um, so I'm coming to you live to answer questions. I got a couple of questions that I want to answer that were people who did ask a question in my DM. One of the questions that was asked was, how do I put together a ice cream social? This is from a nephew of mine who I think I will remain anonymous because I forgot to ask him if he wants his name said or not. But he asked me the question about ice cream social. Some of you may not even know what an ice cream social is, but historically, an ice cream social is something where people used to eat ice cream, or they brought people together for a fundraiser, or maybe it was a church picnic or something like that, in an effort to increase community and build community. And now more than ever, since we cannot always rely on our governments, we have to learn how to build community. And the best way to build community is through dialogue. So my answer to him was, in regards to building an ice cream social or creating ice cream social that people will actually attend, was you have to kind of ask people who are in the community that you want to serve what they want. So many times we let the ego uh, uh, get in front of everything. We pretend um, to know what others want, but the truth is, every person is an individual. Every person needs to be asked, and when we ask them what they want, um, we may not get the answer we thought. And it is when we humble ourselves and we ask that person to not even just ask them to attend the event, but ask them if they are interested in helping us create the event, to create an experience that will be long lasting, that will be remembered, that will be something that you both created together. So that was and still is my advice. I know everybody will not, they will ask me questions, but they may not always listen to what I'm saying. So it's okay if you don't take my advice, but you did ask. So that is what I'm saying, is that you ask them what they want. He told me that he was going to. I asked him what questions like what kind of music are you going to play, what kind of games. I gave him some suggestions on games and things like that. But again, the most important thing when we're trying to build community is to be mindful and to take the time. And that's what I'm actually doing right now. And it's not easy because I have other priorities as well that I want to do and things that are important to me. But if I am to be in alignment with my values and if I am to remember what's most important in these uncertain times, it is that I am of service to people who have been there for me and people who want to be there for me. And that means that I have to take time like this to ask questions to you, even of what would make you feel comfortable asking me a question. If you, since this is the first segment, again, I say you can remain anonymous. I know that sometimes asking questions about love and relationship. I've been married for 25 years. People say, "Oh, what's your secret?" That's usually a question that people ask when it comes to love and relationships. What's your secret? And I have to tell you that my secret really is communication. I value it. I value communicating and communication, even when if my partner doesn't always value it. I remind him, or even people that I'm working with closely, that transparency is key. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But what I've learned, and this is a quote from Oprah actually, and she said that everybody that sat on her couch when she was interviewing them, they all wanted the same thing. It didn't matter what status. And I still remember this quote. She said they all wanted the same thing. And you know what that thing is? They wanted to know that they were heard. So communicating a lot of times doesn't mean it's about talking. It's about listening. Active listening. And for someone who's a neurodivergent like myself, who has ADD, and I also live with anxiety because of it, it means that I can interrupt people a lot. It's part of the way my brain works because of the working memory it's more of a challenge than some others, people's working memory. So I have studied communication for those reasons. And I know that I'm not always the best either. But it's that active listening that builds trust. And when Oprah said that, it was a light bulb moment for me that everybody wants to know that they've been heard. And it reminds me of a Maya Angelou quote. She was like, they may not remember what you said or even what you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And when you're learning to listen to people, you are one step closer to building community. And when we are in uncertain times, it's your community that you go to. And I grew up in the church, so they say wherever two or more are gathered, that is the church. It is the body that is outside of your own that you can lean on as well, right? It's that person, even if it's just one other person, it says two or more. Community can just be one other person. And so often we want it to be 1,000, as it is reflected in our friends on social media. We want it to be that many people, but if you have just one person that you can listen to and that you feel like they're listening to you, you have community. So don't forget that. That means you're doing well. But keep it moving, keep it growing, keep it focused on the shared and common goal. Another question that came to me during this Dialogue Matters segment. Let me make sure I am looking at comments here. Oh, okay. Of course. I have one comment. It's from someone who is definitely in my community, and that is Stephen Daniel Jones, one of my biggest supporters, best friends, and love of my life. Thank you, Steve, for letting me know that I'm giving some good advice. I'm glad you think so. So thank you. Feel free to drop a comment or a question during the segment. Following the segment, I am going to offer patrons pop-up poetry. It is National Poetry Month, and most people know me as a spoken word poet. I have a poem that has won awards in Canada, Portugal, and also in the country of my origin, and it's called Little Red is Riding the Wrong Way in the Hood. I am also promoting this social impact campaign with this initiative of Dialogue Matters, because with Little Red is Riding the Wrong Way in the Hood, we are in the middle of a social impact campaign. And that means that we are trying to spark dialogue, critical conversations that are not easy with family members who are community leaders or leaders within the family who see the disconnect. And it could be with their own child or their own, it could be a guardian who's over, a group of young people and trying to hold them accountable, but it's a struggle, and making sure you're not losing them to the streets, and making sure they are a little bit more streetwise, because there's a lot of tricksters now more than ever. And it is my intention with this project is to make sure that Little Reds are going the right way, and not the wrong way. And that starts in spaces and places and circles that we create. And I say we, when I say we, I mean those empaths like myself who are compassionate and interested in making sure young people, especially the most vulnerable, historically most vulnerable, which are Black and Brown and Indigenous children, are more protected. So I see a comment here. It says, I've spent more time with you in the last few months than ever, and I still hear gems of wisdom I never heard. I never heard, or any, I never heard or anyone before. I'm wearing out the 100 emoji. Yes. So I'm doing my best to keep it 100. Thank you so much, Steve. So I want to make sure that I answered one more question here and read. But first, I want to read from my journal. Now, this is from my journal. This is a journal that I was writing. I have so many journals. And this almost sounds like the beginning of a poem, but when I knew I was going to be talking about voice today, I just turned the page and I said, okay, well, let me think about what I want to say. And it said, I don't believe, because I'm asking you to raise your voice and ask questions, and sometimes people stay quiet because they don't always know that they think that the question might be stupid, and I don't believe in stupid questions, but I also don't believe that you know me very well, so I'm doing my best to get better with that. There's always room to know me because I'm always growing, and I'm learning to know myself. And that is, I think, one of the secrets to life too, is just constantly being in dialogue with self. So it's not just about dialogue with others. These dialogue matters segments might be, how do you help improve self-worth and self-esteem? And for me, that's been journaling. It's been this book when no one else is around, where I feel like God has been off duty for a while, answering other people's questions. So I have to talk with myself. And this is something I wrote in my journal. And it says, I don't believe I will ever be able to hear my voice and stop cringing if I am not in consistent practice of raising it. I cannot sing like a sparrow or canary and be known for my melody if the music in me is mute. I wanted to sing, but I was also feeling caged. I wanted to dance, but I was also feeling shackled. The gift that emerges when I feel free is the funny gene, which is another tip for 25 years of humor and valuing that as well. The gift of humor is something that I also want to uncover. I want to uncover the gift of humor in me and not feel as though I have to conform so much that I am pleasing others and no longer pleasing myself. I am a funny and fierce woman. I am a Looney Tune and a love ballad. Help me, dear God. Use my voice for the advancement of your will. Show me the way. So that is something that I wrote on October 25th, 23. Hi, Urel. I see you in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Poetry Month. So yes, I am a funny and fierce woman, but do I have to prove it right now how funny I am? I can't laugh at myself, I'll tell you that much. Oh, it says I stumbled onto this live and don't exactly know what the topic is, but I'm enjoying the conversation. Oh, thank you so much. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. IQ. Thank you for being here. You are a powerhouse woman. Don't know that I know that you have been in my radar and I see you and I follow you for a good reason. Okay, so continue to stay connected with me, and I hope that one day we'll have an opportunity to work together in film or in any other realm. So just holler at me because I see you, Shiro. Rachel, I see you. Thank you so much for being in the chat. And Yarel, you said you are so funny, Venus. Thank you. I look most of the time I'm funny when I am not trying to be funny because it's the quick wit, and the quick wit comes from just having to be on my feet a lot. But there's still those times where it reminds me of a Seinfeld episode where you're like, man, I wish I would have said that. And I did, believe it or not, one of my most viral videos is a stand-up comedy routine where I was trying to stand up for skinny girls. And this was back when Monique, who's a powerhouse Oscar-winning, very multifaceted artist as well, and activist. And I say activist because she's always out here trying to make sure young women who look like me are on the up and up, even if she may not always appear that way. I'm just saying, but we're human, right? And I just was coming after Monique, like little old me coming after Monique because I didn't like what was she doing? She was generalizing, but that most comedians do. Some people say, then this is a joke. But again, in dialogue, we're talking about dialogue here. That's one of the other questions I got from someone who was like, well, what do you do when people are generalizing? And if you're like me, you want to talk about generalizations can create a shutdown. People won't even tell you they were offended. And then there are some who will, and they won't shut up about it. Because you said all men, or you said all women do this, or you said, even somebody recently, I was working with somebody, oh my God, so it's so tough because these are people I love, but they made this person specifically made a huge generalization and was like, all Indian contractors are like that. I was like, whoa. So what do? This is what I'm thinking, like, this person who I thought was a very compassionate person slipped and made a generalization and blanket statement about a whole group of people. And when you are dealing with that type of situation where someone, especially if you're a person of color, you would be surprised though, a lot of people of color, they still make prejudice comments about other people, but I'm not. Remember, I'm an empath, so I get a little more triggered. And I didn't go in, I mean, I didn't go into, look, let me share my experience with these people. And that some of my best friends look like these people and have been responsible and have been accountable and have been there for me. We just got back from California, and if it wasn't for some of our Indian family, our East Indian family, look, we would not be here smiling back in Chiang Mai, feeling good about everything. They were angels. I didn't say that at the time, but you can say that. You can say, tell me, you can first say, without getting defensive, you could say, first, tell me more about why you feel that way. And use I statements. One of the best models for when it comes to dialogue is to always use an I statement. Don't say you. I remember when I was in college and first started studying communication, I was like, man, whoa, how many of us have lost relationships we value because of personal attacks? But whenever you say you can end up putting people on the defensive. And even the word why is tricky, because once you hear the word why? Some people don't like that word. They don't like that word. So you have to think about the tone, and maybe not use why in a text at all. But in this specific case, if you're dealing with someone who's a lot of generalizations coming out of their mouth and you love them so dearly and you want to hold on to the relationship, you would have to, say, could you tell me more? Tell me more about your experience. I am interested, but let me tell you about mine. And maybe you then can come to a common ground. And maybe use a when model, like when you, the W is for W, when you say this, make it about you. I feel confused because I know you're a compassionate person. And just let that sit. And the N is for, and until maybe they might say something, but then you say, I need you to just be mindful, because you and I are a team and you represent me. I want you to be mindful of that I need you to be comfortable, and make other people around you comfortable. And if they have friends, or if they are that person or connected to people who look like this, I don't want them to think you're not compassionate. Or that you sound like, because this is the world we want to live in, right? A world where people take the time to let us know when we've hurt them or when we've made them confused. Because dialogue matters. And that's what this is all about. Every first Friday, I want to talk about dialogue and how you can hold on to a loving relationship without ghosting. If you've been following me recently, I actually shared a poem, or a sample of a poem, called The Reasons We Don't Talk. Because I knew I wanted to eventually talk to you about why we don't talk and why do we ghost each other. I do my best not to, but sometimes we just get busy, right? And it's not the highest priority. It's not the highest relationship. However, people still remember the fact that you never got back to them. Or they feel, or depending on their self-esteem or their level of work, personal development, right? The work that they've done, they will want to lash out because of feeling ignored. So how can we not ghost others and think about why or reasons we don't talk? And maybe even let them know. And let them know it's not a personal, to not take it personal. So yeah, if you want to see the whole poem, become a patron today. Even at the free level, you will have some gems. But for those who are pledging at least $1 a month or more to support my poetry and this social impact campaign with Little Red is Riding the Wrong Way in the Hood, because we do need the marketing and promotion dollars to become more visible. And I know that you care about the safety of youth. So do support your girl. I'm trying to be there for you. And if there's other ways that you think I could be there that would make you want to follow my Patreon community, which is patreon.com/Venus Love Jones. Yes, because love is my middle name. And I am doing my best. But again, as I began this dialogue, and like I told my nephew in his DM, I have to ask. I have to ask the question: how can I be of better support? What would make you want to become a patron? Let me know in the comments and/or DM me. I know that I've been told by a couple of people a course is important. The course is on the way, but if there's a specific thing that you would like to know more about, I don't like the term "pick my brain." It sounds so violent. I have a whole poem about it. I just imagine people like picking it, like almost like a surgery, for no damn reason. Okay, just like picking with, I don't know, like you're trying to eat my brain. I don't know. That's what I imagine when I hear that. But if you want to share knowledge, because I believe that when we have meetings and we come together, especially in this age of social media, you'd be surprised how many people want to connect with me on LinkedIn or wherever, but they don't even say hello anymore. They don't even tell me why they are interested in connecting with me. And often that can lead to a disconnect too. So you have to let people know, you don't have to, you can do whatever you want, but I am inviting you or asking you to consider, see, because nobody likes to be told what to do, right? Either, well, especially if you like me. I've always had problems with authority, but that's why I work on everything that I say, every word that comes out of my mouth, because I know that this is something that we all could work on better, do better. Because if I had it my way, I could turn back the time, and social media would not exist, because it has made so many people, so many of us, I feel, it has made us use the words like associate, friend, so loosely. But becoming someone's friend takes time. It takes building trust. It takes sharing values and not being afraid to ask questions in the beginning of a relationship. Yes? Holla if you hear me. I don't know who Yaya DaCosta is, but I will be researching that in my experience. All right. I wish I had some music to play right now. Next time I'll be prepared to do that. But I want you to imagine right now that I am in a chair dancing competition. Okay. And this is me dancing to the song that is trending right now, like I said, which is one of the reasons we don't talk to, and that is anxiety. So when they sing the song, or my anxiety is watching me, or whatever, right? um, Maybe it might be like this. Can you imagine anxiety watching you? But then you just like, and then you smile, and then you pray to the God of your understanding, and then you show up and you ask questions. Why? Dialogue matters. Okay, so that is it for the day. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions for me, you can start slipping in my DMs now. But I will not answer the question until next First Friday. How about that? So we'll see how many questions that we gather. Hi, Mike. Yes, what's up? Yes, Steven says hello to you too. Thank you for being in the chat. Steve is behind the scenes. I really am so grateful for him. And please give a hug and say give some sense of gratitude, or make the people that you love and who are there for you, make them feel seen today. Make them feel appreciated today, because we're building community. Yes. That's what this is all about. And yes, Sherelle, thank you for giving me love on how I look. I did try to do something with these braids, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I tried to look a little cute for y'all, but the truth is, I might go back to sleep right now, get me some rest, and wake up fresh again, and wake up feeling good that I went live and I was there for the community that I'm trying to build, which are change makers, courageous people who are not fearless, but are moving through fear, because I don't believe in being fearless. But I do think that we can do this. We can continue to build community. We can continue to talk about what does frighten us, and not be ashamed, because that's what real leaders do. They're vulnerable. Thank you, Brene Brown, for letting me know that. If you haven't read any Brene Brown books, what am I reading right now? Some of the books that I'm reading right now, that I will welcome you to read, are The Radiant Life Project. If you want to read this with me, let me know. I have read and have already done this one, but this one was really good. And if you want to join my Patreon, we may be talking about this one too. It's called Emotionally Healthy Spiritually Day by Day. I'd love to see you journaling in that. And actually, the journal that I read came from when I was doing this in October 2023. And another book, because I care so much about this realm, but I'm very concerned about the next realm. And I don't know if there's a heaven or a hell, but I do know that some people are living in hell on here on this earth. And I do know that as a spiritual being, I am interested in, and as someone who was named after a goddess, and I don't even know who my birth father is, but I do know that I have a father and mother in heaven, in the heaven of my understanding, which sometimes even shows up within me. And that is my reason why I'm focused on eternal security, not just the security here on earth. And I'm also focused on yours, because I believe that when God is working through me, oops, sorry about that, lost my, ain't that the devil, but it's okay. Y'all can still hear me, right? Okay. But when we're talking about eternal security, we know that all of this is somewhat of an illusion, because we don't take the body to us in the next round. So I'm trying to help prepare us for the next round. And that means I do have to, once again, help you focus on dialogue with yourself, with the God of your understanding, and with the people you love. So I do hope you understand that this is not a joke for me. I have so much I'm trying to get done as I'm transitioning into my life here in a brand new country. And that took courage. But it also takes courage for me to still hold on to you. No matter where you are in the world or in this earth, because we are trying to build when others are trying to destroy. And we can't lose sight that this is a spiritual battle that we are in. Well, that's something I know for sure. And so those are the 3 books that I'm working on. Oh, and my husband has just brought me this book that him and I are reading together called The Untethered Soul. So if any of these books that you've read, you want to dialogue about, holla. So yes, and Robert, you are always there for me. I see you, even though I don't even know you like that, but I see you. I see you, my kindred. Thank you for always sending me love in almost every chat. I appreciate it. I do. Willie Robinson, yes. Thank you so much. I see you too. And Mike, man, Mike, we go way back, but you got to give me an update. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if I'm missing anyone from any other live, and anyone who's watching this in the aftermath, just make sure that you hit me up, JM. I'm not sure who JM is, but JM, yes, love to you too. And always, I like to say, I don't know if you know me like that, Robert, but I used to say always. When I say always, you say divine, because I have been talking about the divine lately a lot in this segment. It's 7:37 a.m. in Thailand, and I said I was only going to be on here for maybe 30 minutes because I do want you to go to Patreon right now and subscribe if you want a link to the pop-up poetry segment, which is happening right after this. I said, if I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to commit to doing something around poetry right after, so I can get it all done at the same time. So if you want to do some poetry with me, if you have a poem that has inspired you, that you think is funny, and you want to see if we have the same sense of humor, we may not, but that's okay. I'm still here to learn more about you. So come into the pop-up poetry segment, but you first have to become a patron. Even at the free level, you will be able to have access to the link right now. So go to patreon.com/Venus Love Jones, and you'll find the link. And I will see you at the top of the hour in there. I'm gonna take a little quick break. I forgot I can't go sleep right now, but I do. I have forgot, but no, we got this, okay? Because dialogue matters, and sometimes nothing sparks dialogue like poetry. And I don't even like most poetry, but you can tell me why you like the poem that you like, and maybe we can talk about it together. But I will bring you a poem, probably about Angelique. I don't know if she got a chance to make it to this slide, but she had asked me to talk about a poem about my father. And sure enough, I do have a poem about the father that I've never met. And I do have a bonus dad that I love, Rudy Ray. Hey, if you ever watch this. But the father that I've never met ever, I have a poem about what would I say to that person. And I have a poem about that. So that a lot of people might relate to. So I'll make sure that as well as try to find a funny piece, because I got to prove I'm funny or not. But thank you so much. Always divine, yes, always divine. But one of the sayings that I'm more known for now is let's keep looking up and keep looking out. I like to end with this, and I say, let's keep looking up and let's keep looking out, because when we do, there's a lot less fear and a lot less doubt. And if you don't know, now you know. I'm Venus Jones, and thank you for joining me. Until next time, inner peace.